What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about the top 10 power forwards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Now, again, power forward position, I do got to start out by saying is really strong. So, I mean, if you don't see a guy, I'm just gonna throw out a name that you're not gonna see. If you don't see a guy like Shaq, I'm sorry, right? It is what it is. I don't think Shaq quite makes the cut, but you know, a lot of people probably are going to get upset about it. So, you know, just kind of note it's a really strong list in general. If you don't see your specific player, it's not necessarily that they're bad. It's just I like some more options, just that little bit more. So that's kind of just something I kind of want to get out the way, you know, before we dive into this thing any further. Now, starting at number 10. Now, you know what? We'll go honorable mention first. Okay, I want to give an honorable mention to Bob Netherlucky, right? This card has one of the smoother releases in the entire game, and I feel like it's underrated. Now, I know he's only 6'9", and at this point of my team, at this stage of my team, you know, there are probably better options, and that's why, you know, he's just an honorable mention because I can't be any higher on him. I'm just saying I personally love the card, okay? And personally, like, he's done a lot for me, okay? So I'm just kind of throwing that out there for you guys to kind of know and to think about, right? Bob's done a lot for me. He's played on my Xbox account for quite some time, but he's just the honorable mention, okay? At number 10, we're plugging in Galaxy Opal Dirk Nowitzki, one of the best offensive power forwards in the entire game, and there's no questions asked. Like, when it comes down to smooth releases, this Bielitsa base on quick is so smooth. Now, again, Bielitsa base, its potential is definitely up there as well. Now, I don't like the P word, but I mean, let's talk about it, right? This release on quick is this good. Imagine what it's going to be like on very quick. Dirk in the pick and pop game is so tough to stop. And again, I don't necessarily love Dirk, but I respect him enough to put him in here at number 10. Again, offensively speaking, there's not going to be many better people than what Dirk can do, and he is 7'1" as well. At number 9, we're plugging in the Dark Matter Chris Bosh. Now, again, kind of a guy here who I feel like is overpriced. That's the first thing. So, like, is he worth this specific price he's going for? No, absolutely not. But does that mean he's bad? No, right? And I think we've got to separate those two. Again, he's not worth the price he's going for. But, I mean, he is really solid in my team. He can hold it down at that power forward position. No question about it. Chris Bosh here, 6'11". And he's got no flaws. The one thing about Chris Bosh that I personally like compared to, you know, some of these other guys is look at those defensive badges, you know, anchor, clamps, interceptor, pogo stick. He's got basically everything you could want out of that power forward position. His release is pretty solid. Not necessarily the best in the game, but overall it's pretty solid. I'm personally a pretty big fan of what Chris Bosh can provide for you on the court. Again, Chris Bosh based on quick. Gonna be interesting to see what it's like on very quick, but overall, really solid in general. At number 8, Galaxy Opal KG. And I know some people are gonna want KG to be even higher, but I think what we as a community have to know and appreciate is think about how long KG has been relevant for, right? I mean, the card came out on January 31st, and he is still a top 8 power forward in my team. That just should show you how good the card was for his specific time. And just kind of something to think about for you guys as well is if you grinded for KG, you really didn't waste your time, right? And it all starts and ends with the LaMelo base on quick, smooth release, normal leaner, MJ dribble style, as well as him being 6'11" at the 4. I mean, I feel like everybody didn't really appreciate how good KG was for his specific time. But again, the card is absolutely outstanding. And if I would have been in 250K, I would have grinded him and had him on my Xbox account. At number 7, we're plugging in Dark Matter Anthony Davis. I feel like Anthony Davis is one of these cards, like, he's good, but he just didn't live up to expectations, right? And again, that's not me saying Anthony Davis is bad. That's not me saying he can't play for you. I'm just saying specific to me, he just didn't live up to expectations, right? Everybody, when Anthony Davis came out, kind of expected him to be, you know, one of the best power forwards in the game or the best power forward in the game. And I feel like his release just didn't live up to expectations, right? When I was using this Galaxy Opal Anthony Davis, one of the best parts about the card was his release, right? That's one of the main reasons I used him for so long was because his release was one that I could rely on and that I basically greened every shot with, right? And now when we're talking about things, I just feel like, you know, his release isn't really as good as it, you know, was expected to be with the Dark Matter AD. Again, that's not me hating on him. That's not me saying he's bad. But I just feel like his release didn't pan out to what everybody thought it would be. And, you know, I know I'm not the only one that says that. We're plugging Giannis in this power forward list as well. Again, because he deserves it, right? If Giannis is your power forward, he's at number 6 for me on my rankings. I feel like his player model player build is way better than Anthony Davis's. He's going to play better defense. I know a lot of people don't like the Giannis release, and I totally get it because I'm one. I don't really love that Giannis release either, right? He steps in from the corners, which makes me really mad and really upset sometimes. But overall, you got to look at how good Giannis is as a complete player. Again, 6'11", going to play lane, 7'4" wingspan. Going to do a lot for you on the court. And again, it just comes down to what you're expecting out of Giannis. For me, he's going to be incredible defensively, going to play good offense as far as attacking the rim. Just going to do all I need him to do on the court. Giannis, probably better at small forward, but comes in at number 6 on my power forward list. Now, honestly, here's where their gap is, right? Here's where my big gap is when we're talking about the power forward position. I think our top 5 is head and shoulders above the rest. Again, this is just me and my personal opinion, but let's talk about it. Dark Matter, David Robinson here, coming in at number 5. Again, cracking my top 5 is David Robinson. Now, I'm high on David Robinson. Why? Okay, 7'1" at that power forward position. He's still going to get dogged by the Tacko and Yaos of the world. No questions asked, no doubt about it. He is going to get dogged by those people. But what you guys have to understand is D-Rob's got his base on quick, a good release, MJ dribble style, normal leader, and defensively, he has basically every badge in the game. Again, I'm not trying to sit up here in front of you guys and say that, you know, oh, well, I mean, Anthony or that David Robinson is the best card in the game, because that is just not true. But at the power forward position, I definitely think he's top 5. Like, I think it's pretty easily, right? I mean, 7'1", gonna guard basically everybody on the court, whether it's a point guard, whether it's a center. He can basically guard everybody on the court. And I think D-Rob's value is underrated at this point. For a card that came out a month and a half ago, the card is still extremely good in my team. At number 4, Dark Matter, Kareem Abdul Jabbar. The power forward and center list, I do gotta say, and again, I want to say this for you guys, so you guys, you know, don't think I'm lying. It's gonna be basically a lot of the same players, right? Kareem, D-Rob, you know, honestly, all of my top 5 is gonna be on the center list as well. Now, again, they might be different rank. Kareem at power forward comes in at number 4. I think the card is great, especially defensively. But I don't love his release. And his release isn't horrible, okay? You guys got to know and understand. I'm not up here saying Kareem's release is dog water and that, you know, he shouldn't be used. But he is one of the worst value cards in the game. For being number 4 on my power forward list at this stage of my team, it's just sad. Great player model, great player build, going to be incredible defensively. But there's 2 sides to the court. And offensively, I just don't think Kareem is great. He's not horrible, right? You can use him and have some success with him. I just think there are better options at the power forward position. Still one of the most complete cards in the game. And if you locked in Kareem, he should probably be playing for you. At number 2, though, Dikembe Mutombo. And we can compare Kareem to Dikembe all you guys want. I think for me, though, it starts and ends with the release, okay? I prefer Dikembe's release to Kareem's. And outside of that, you can pick whichever card you like better. I mean, they are eerily similar. I mean, Kareem's a little faster. Dikembe, you know, it has a better release. It really just depends on what you're looking for. I personally like Dikembe Mutombo that little bit more. That's why he's higher on my list. Again, I think it is all preference based. If you prefer Kareem over Dikembe, do what you got to do. Both not worth the lock in, and I'll explain why here with my number 2 player, but both really solid options you can play at power forward. At number 2 for me, Dark Matter, Kristaps Porzingis. If you're looking for a reason to not lock in Dikembe Mutombo, to not lock in Kareem Abdul Jabbar, here is your answer: Dark Matter, Kristaps Porzingis. You can get Kristaps Porzingis for cheaper than Mutombo and Kareem, and you don't have to lock him in. Those 2 things should prevent you from locking in Dikembe and Kareem, who both are really solid players. KP's better though, right? Defensively going to be nearly as good, not quite as good, but nearly as good at 7'3". Offensively, way better, right? He's got one of the smoothest catch and shoot releases in the entire game as a big. And I feel like a lot of people are just underrating KP in general. I know he came out a month ago, but I still like him over Mutombo. I still like him over Kareem. And as my #1 power forward in my team today, Pink Diamond Tacko Fall. And am I wild to say it's not even close? Because I really don't think it's close. And there's going to be people in the comments saying, Ty, Tacko is horrible. He's only 7'6". You know what? You're right. Tacko's stats are horrible. Tacko's badges are horrible. But there's a bigger deal going on here, okay? And let's explain what's going on here. I get why people don't like Tacko Fall. I get why people don't want to hype up this card. Okay, I get it. 23 base badges. His stats are horrible. His badges are horrible. His SIGs aren't great, right? But he's 7'6", and he passes the eye test. If you don't have Tacko Fall and you match up against Tacko or Yao, you're just going to struggle. It's that simple. And so I know people are going to be mad that I have Tacko at #1, but I've got Tacko on the Nobody Spent, and he's literally changed my account, my Nobody Spent account around. Like, he's made it so much better since I've added him to the squad. I think people are really underrating Tacko's impact, and I think it shows, right? I love Tacko Fall in my team, and it's crazy that he's above KP. It's crazy that he's above Kareem. But again, my eye test does not lie. Tacko Fall is right now, as it stands, our best power forward in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. If I left off your favorite player, let me know down below in the comments again. Bill Russell on the small forward list, Worthy on the small forward list. Moses Malone could have been on here, I guess. Probably should have been over Dirk. You know, a guy I might have forgot about. But again, he's a collector level reward. If you think I'm going to sit here and hype up Moses Malone, you're absolutely wild. Again, Ferry, Deadlift, Purvis, all on that small forward list as well. But drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.